Once upon a time, in the small Utah town of Santaquin, there was a man named ETU. ETU was a rough and tough guy, who made a living as a pimp on the seedier side of town. He was known to be ruthless and feared by many, but there was one thing that ETU loved more than anything else in the world: frog gigging. Frog gigging was a hobby that ETU had picked up as a boy, and it had become an obsession for him as an adult. He would spend every spare moment out in the swamps, gigging frogs by the dozens. He loved the thrill of the hunt and the satisfaction of a good catch. However, ETU's love for frog gigging had become toxic, and it was tearing his life apart. His wife and children were fed up with his constant disappearing act, and they had threatened to leave him if he didn't stop. ETU couldn't bear the thought of losing his family, but he couldn't give up his beloved hobby either. He tried to strike a compromise, promising to only go frog gigging on the weekends, but it was too little too late. His wife and children had grown tired of his excuses and ultimatums, and they decided to leave him. ETU was devastated, and he realized that his addiction to frog gigging had cost him everything that he held dear. He tried to change his ways, but it was too late. His family was gone and he was left alone, with nothing but his love for frog gigging to keep him company. He spent the rest of his days out in the swamps, gigging frogs by the dozens, but the thrill of the hunt was gone. He couldn't shake off the feeling of emptiness and loneliness that consumed him. He realized that his love for frog gigging had become toxic, and it had destroyed his life. He had lost everything, and all that was left was a broken man, who had let his addiction consume him. From that day on, the townspeople whispered about the pimp from Santaquin, ETU, and his tragic downfall, warning others about the dangers of letting an obsession consume you.